DC fans could not keep their excitement at bounds because of the events which took place in Marvel DC crossover in the comics. The Mjolnir was lifted yet again, and this time it was neither by Thor nor Captain America. Who could it be? Any guesses? Let us take the privilege to introduce you to the new wielder of the Mjolnir. Superman. Yes, the blue-eyed superhero wielded the magic hammer, which tests your worthiness. But there is something more to the story which the hardcore fans usually don't talk about. Before digging into it, make sure you smash the subscribe button with the Mjolnir and keep your support flowing in for the channel. Let's begin. The worthiness of any superhero in the Marvel Universe is checked only if he or she could lift it. The test was introduced to the MCU in the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, where Captain America, Steve Rogers, successfully nudged the hammer a little bit. The doubt on his worthiness was later confirmed in Avengers: Endgame, when he wielded the Mjolnir and his shield with grace and against the Mad Titan Thanos. But our beloved Cap was not the first one to do so. In a JLA Avengers crossover from Kurt Busiek and George Perez, Superman successfully wielded both the Captain America shield and the Mjolnir. The comic book artwork featured Krona, the DC antagonist, whose sole aim was to create an intergalactic order. The villainous Krona is seen merging the Earths of Marvel and DC. This rests in the superheroes of the respective planets to merge their forces and fight against the purple-bodied villain, not Thanos. Marvel and DC heroes have shared multiverses quite often, and hence they are quite comfortable in fighting against Multi-Seon, who wields his powers from the emotional spectrum. So, as the heroes battle against Krona and infinite other already defeated villains from both sides, the battle starts turning the tables on our heroes. Meanwhile, Superman succeeds in pummeling his way through one last barrier, only to find that the last wall is Krona's final defense. Expecting a generic ending? Then hang on. In a surprising twist of events, the wall is energized force field, which cannot be broken by Superman, yes, Superman's raw strength. Witnessing this crisis, our beloved Odin Thor cries out to Superman and sends Mjolnir flying towards him. The result? Superman stands tall with Captain America's shield in one hand and Mjolnir in the other. Cool, right? The moment is made more epic with Thor's command to "do thou well with it," followed by Superman being awed by the power flowing through him. Even the strongest of the strongest could not stand the power of the mighty Mjolnir. Using the magic of Asgard combined with his own worthiness, Superman shatters the wall into pieces. A massive explosion follows and the crisis comes to an end. Perfect ending, right? But Marvel does not waste a single second to validate the fact that it's Thor's hammer after all. After the explosion, Hal Jordan, in his Spectre form, ends the crisis, and now the superheroes must take a quick retreat to their separate worlds. Superman decides to return the Mjolnir to its original owner, but what happens next has been neglected by the fans. The Man of Steel is not able to move the hammer. Yes, that happened. Thor explained this enchantment as the Mjolnir can only be lifted by someone who is worthy enough, but there exist some expectations. In situations of crisis, the spell of Mjolnir is lifted and Superman was the subject to these desperate hours of crisis. This climax may refer to the writer's affection towards the logic from the very beginning, knowing that the readers would find Superman worthy enough to wield the magic hammer. But when we take a closer look, Superman comments on struggling to bear the momentum of the hammer. The artwork shows Superman redirecting the hammer and then lifting it for less than a second before it blasts out of his reach. This is not a single inch close to our beloved Captain lifting the Mjolnir with straight out suave in Endgame. In conclusion, we can see that Superman was just a medium for the power to go through during desperate times. In a way, not very different from Captain's little Mjolnir wiggle in the Age of Ultron, but it's degrading as Superman. Even Wonder Woman once lifted the Mjolnir only to keep it aside for a fair fight. But did the artwork diminish Superman a little bit? Was the Man of Steel worthy enough? What do you think? Write down your views in the comments below and don't forget to hit the bell icon before closing the tab. Adios.